So what happened when you got the phone call about Hunter?
Phone call was tough. I was at work, and I got a phone call from my wife, and she goes, it was really quick, really short. Hunter's been in a car accident.
Bike accident.
Or maybe he said Hunter's been in a bike accident, and the police are here, and I'll meet you at the hospital. And she basically hung up. And I'm like, well, a lot of unanswered questions. Is he all right? Did he, what's going on? So the drive from work to the hospital was bad. Because as a parent, you always think the worst.
Yes.
And then I got there, and I arrived right as he was going into the CAT scan room. Or he was getting ready to leave the room to go into the CAT scan room. And I helped push him with the gurney, and I talked to him along the way to the room where there's computer screens all over the place and the big, huge CAT scan thing that he goes in. And I had been told about falling down, blah, blah, blah. And the police officer, I don't know if my wife mentioned earlier, really, in my opinion, St. John Police saved my son's life. Because if he wasn't there, we never would have taken him to the hospital. Or if I was there, I wouldn't have. Can't speak for my wife. But anyway, so I went into the CAT scan room with him, and the CAT scan thing was going on, and there's computer screens all over the place showing his head, and the nurse technician turned to me, and she goes, it looks okay. He might have a bad concussion. They might keep him overnight, but I don't see any fractures. Everything looks good. So I was all happy, and Hunter was a champ, sitting on the gurney looking up, okay, Dad. We go back to the room, and we're in the room like 5 minutes, if even that, and I hear footsteps, and we're like, what's going on? And they were like, stomp, stomp, stomp. And I looked down the hall, and there was a woman surgeon, and she was running and waving a chart in her hand, and she shoots in the room, and she goes, he needs immediate brain surgery. He's got a skull fracture in 3 places. We can't do it here. We've already called for the Lifeline helicopter. So within 5 minutes, we went from he's fine, he's good, to he needs immediate brain surgery. That was tough.
All right. What happened when you saw the helicopter take him away?
Helicopter was funny because they said, and one of the things about the hospital was they were smart enough to realize right away that they couldn't do the surgery, so he had to go somewhere else. So I'm really thankful for that. I'm not mad at the hospital. I'm thankful that they recognized, can't do it here. Got to go to the specialist. And they said a helicopter's on the way, a Lifeline, and it would take about 45 minutes. And we're like, okay, and I turned to my wife, and my mom was there too, and I said, go take her home, get us both clothes, because we're probably going to be at the hospital in Chicago for a few days. And they had just left, and they were only gone like 15, 20 minutes, and all of a sudden the hospital was there. I mean, the helicopter, excuse me. And they had a bunch of guys jump out, surgeons and specialists, and they were in jumpsuits, looked like SWAT members. And they had microphones and stuff all over them, and they ran into the room and grabbed Hunter and put him on the gurney, and it was a special helicopter gurney. And I was sitting there talking to him. I'm like, hey, it's going to be fine. You're going on a helicopter ride. Yeah. And this little kid going, yay. And they rushed him, and we basically ran through the halls with him. And I was with the doctor crew, and we were at the front door. And they pushed him into an ambulance to get him to the helipad. There's a certain place where the helicopter lands in the hospital. And they wouldn't let me get in the ambulance with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And then they take off. And I had to basically guess where the helipad was. So I just start running around the hospital. And I'm running. And I ran all the way around St. Margaret's. And at that time, the helipad was in the far northwest corner. Actually, it'd be southwest corner. And I was about 30, 40 yards away. And my wife and my mom weren't back yet. And I see them loading him into the helicopter. And I'm just standing there in the parking lot. And the helicopter takes off.
All right.
So it was not good. It was sad.
All right. Thank you for being here for me.
But it all turned out good.
Okay, that's good.